guys, Midwest Picker here. This is a little bit different video. This is a frequently asked questions or questions and answers related to eBay for beginners, and this is strictly for beginners. I know you advanced guys, people have been doing it for a long time, you probably already know the answers to these questions, and that's fine. But I receive a lot of questions on a website where I post answers to questions related to reselling, flipping, eBay, online selling. So some of these are questions that I've already answered for people, and some of them are email questions that I've been getting from this YouTube channel. So that's what this video is all about. I might do more in the future. Some people have asked for videos related to shipping and how to package items, especially fragile items, so that might be coming up too. It's kind of funny that people are asking for that now, and then other YouTubers are actually doing those videos, so that's pretty cool. So the first question, a buyer on eBay wants to return an item after 1 month for it quote-unquote not working. However, this item was perfectly fine when I shipped it out, and I already spent the money. Do I have to accept the return? Now, a disclaimer, I don't know if these questions, if the facts are true. I'm just reading the questions as it was sent to me. So the answer that I gave them is I would get ahead of this problem before contacting the buyer and call eBay first and explain the situation to them. They are usually very understanding. A buyer can't use an item for a month, especially if it's way over 30 days, and then return it. Nobody knows what the buyer did to the item to make it not work after 30 days. So I don't know what this item is. It sounds to me like it's an electronic item. I don't know. And I know what you're going to say is that eBay seems to favor the buyer. In this situation, they're not claiming not as described, and if you've seen any videos or read anything online lately after eBay opened, eBay is really starting to install seller protections and not just buyer protections. So it's kind of good news. It sounds like eBay is going to use a little bit more common sense when it comes to scammers, ridiculous returns. I'm not concerned about returns because they are so rare. I mean, like 1 or 2 a year. So for me, it's not a big deal. Some of you guys, you might be dealing with a lot of returns. Maybe they're not scammers, they just don't know how eBay works. But in this situation, I always just call eBay. They answer the phone right away when I call. I'm Eastern Standard Time. I call after 8 p.m. Somebody always answers, super friendly. Just be very nice and polite when you talk to them. Explain the situation, and most likely they will find in your favor. So who knows with this situation? I've heard weird, crazy things when it comes to returns. I don't know. But I would just definitely call. Don't message the buyer and say, too late, you can't do it, because they might try to use that against you. So it never hurts to call, especially when it's this rare. All right, next question. What impact will sellers have now that Etsy is pushing out free shipping by threatening to have non-compliers at the very bottom of search results? I don't know if this is true, but I'm just going to base my answer on that question. I said I don't sell on Etsy, but if you are saying that Etsy is putting pressure on sellers to pay for the shipping themselves, free shipping, or be punished, then you will see an exodus of sellers leave Etsy. So basically, eBay has been around for a very, very long time, basically 1997. It's the wild, wild west of flea marketing. Huge buyer audience, millions upon millions of sellers, millions upon millions of visitors. I know competition is out there. Amazon's the biggest. Little ones like Etsy and Poshmark, they come and they go. And usually the competition makes a big mistake. A CEO comes in, makes a stupid mistake. They're under the gun to compete with Amazon and eBay and Walmart.com, and they make bad decisions. And it's just a few bad decisions that can destroy a company. Look at Blockbuster, right? Look at Kmart, look at Sears. Successful companies can be brought down just by one bad CEO making a few bad decisions. If this is true, and these competitors are putting pressure on sellers to offer free shipping and just eat the cost themselves, that's going to make a lot of sellers angry. I certainly hope eBay doesn't do that. I know eBay pressures sellers to set certain prices and do certain shipping styles. If you use the eBay app, it's kind of a bully. I mean, it really tries to steer you. So I don't really use the app to list anything ever. I always use the website, but eBay does try to get you to use the eBay catalog and things like that. But I certainly hope they don't go real crazy and say, well, if you don't do free shipping, your search results are going to go to the bottom. That would be very bad for business. All right, the next question. What is the easiest items to sell on eBay in July 2019? I think they mean 2019, basically. So my answer, anything that is in high demand but hard to find. That's the golden ticket right there. Vintage collectibles, antiques, new old stock, still in the package, etc. So basically, people ask this question a lot. You want to avoid, especially if you're a beginner, you want to avoid items that everybody is selling. Cell phone covers, cell phone screen protectors. Now you can go out there and you can Google what's the #1 selling item on eBay, and you're going to get a lot of answers. You can use Terapeak, you can use eBay itself, third-party website, and they're going to show you a list. The top 10 things selling on eBay. Well, you're competing with millions of sellers, a lot of them overseas or from China, that can send it here on eBay extremely cheap with really, really tight margins. That's hard to compete with. If you're new to eBay, I don't recommend you even try that. I recommend collectibles, vintage, antique, anything over 100 years old. I don't care if it's a pencil, I don't care if it's a coaster, a postcard, a paperweight, anything very, very old probably has a collector's market and people want it. That's something that you can compete with, that big box retailers, big shippers that are listing 10, 20, 30,000 items, like charge cords for your cell phone. I always pick on cell phones, but all those cheap gadgets, there are millions of them on eBay. So you can compete by selling things that are really hard to find, that people collect, and that people really want. That's what I would recommend. All right, this next question kind of made me laugh a little bit. Question, what keeps me from taking all the items in Menards, it's a hardware store if you don't have them near you, with a 100% rebate and selling them online? Answer, you can, but if other people can get the same deal, why would you pay full retail online? It would require a lot of work with low margins and very slow sales. Wouldn't be worth your time. So what this person is asking, if you're not familiar with Menards, is instead of putting an item on sale like a tool or a can of paint or whatever, they have mail-in rebates, and it's usually 11%, I think maybe 19% in these weird numbers. This person is claiming 100%, so like a screwdriver is free in the Menards ad, and then the fine print says $3 mail-in rebate. So you pay $3, you gotta mail in this stupid rebate, you wait 6 months and you get your $3. Basically, technically the screwdriver's free. So they're asking, why can't I buy all this stuff and sell it online? Well, you can, but it's real weird because people won't buy that if they can do the same thing you just did and go to Menards and get the item for free. The other thing is these are cheap knockoffs, so they're nothing expensive, nothing, it's a tape measure that's worth $5 or a screwdriver worth $3. If you try to sell that on eBay, you might be able to sell it, but your margins are going to be really tiny, and you got to deal with shipping, and it's going to take forever to sell. So these cheap knockoff tools and box and nails or whatever, my advice is just to avoid that. It's not worth your time. All right, next question. With reselling platforms increasing in the last couple of years, do you think eBay will decline significantly in the next decade or so? My answer, no. Platforms have tried to imitate eBay and have come and gone. There will always be competition, but I highly doubt eBay is going to diminish in the next 10 years. Anything is possible. Like I mentioned, Blockbuster Video, Kmart, Toys R Us, etc. have made logistical errors and they were destroyed, so anything is possible. I get this question more than anything else. Is eBay still legitimate? Why is eBay declining? Is eBay about to go bankrupt? I'm not sure why people are obsessed with that. Probably because eBay, in my opinion, is #1, has always been #1. So whenever there's competition, people get excited and go, oh, eBay's not #1 anymore, maybe they're #2. And they're like obsessed with eBay failing. And 50% of my questions are geared towards this. I don't know why. It's kind of like McDonald's. When their sales dip and go down, people get all excited and wonder who's going to be the new number one. So right now eBay is number one, and they will be for a long time, but anything's possible. They have a great CEO right now, which appears to be, but Yahoo went through this struggle with the CEO, and they made bad logistical mistakes. They had opportunities to buy companies, and they said no. Then these companies became billion-dollar companies later. They were rocky for a while, but they still exist. eBay will be existing for a long, long time. Are they going to be number one forever? I don't know. Are they going to be super successful forever? I don't know. Will they get bought out by somebody? Will Amazon buy them? Will Google buy them? I don't know. But they're not going away anytime soon. So I don't know if this is a public service announcement, but please quit asking. Is eBay failing? Are they destroyed? All that stuff. They're doing very well. Amazon's doing very well. There'll always be companies that do well. You don't have to be number one every minute of every day. Question, what's your eBay seller niche? I said, answer, avoid being a small fish in a big pond. Selling items people actually want and not fad items. I'm just a part-time hobbyist and I do quite well. It takes time and research to be successful. That's why a lot of people try but quit selling on eBay. So that's my niche. It's basically items that I think people want. It can be tools, it can be machine parts, it can be collectibles, coins, coffee mugs, unusual items. I try to avoid retail arbitrage. It's very difficult, steep learning curve, low margins. It can be done. I just don't have the patience for it, or the space, or the room. So I try niche items related to collectibles, antiques, anything super old. I just bought this gas valve at a thrift store, worth over $100. I got it for $1. So I don't even know what it is, but it's in the box. It has the serial number. I looked it up on eBay. They do sell for a lot of money. So I grabbed it and I'm going to sell it. That's not something you're going to see at, your local Target store. So hard to find items, new in the box, new old stock, collectibles, vintage, sell very well for me. All right, the last question. Is eBay still a good way to make money like it was in the past? I think what they're hinting at is that eBay was the only game in town in the past, had less rules, less fees, less restrictions, and is it still a good way to make money? Absolutely yes. Millions and millions of people sell on eBay, make good money. A lot of people, I'd say hundreds of thousands of people, have a full-time business. They don't work a 9-to-5 job. eBay is their job, and they do very well. 6 figures, 7 figures. Lots of people do that. Is it the same as it was 10 or 20 years ago? No, it's different, but it's definitely a platform worth looking at. There's always going to be fees. There's always going to be the cost of doing business. You're going to have customer returns. You're going to get angry messages from buyers. That happens. That's life. That'll happen if you sell on Craigslist. It'll happen if you sell at a garage sale. So yes, eBay is still legitimate, still a great way to make money in 2019. The best advice I can give you, and this person that asked the question, do your research, don't overpay for items, and follow the advice of other eBay sellers and resellers that have more experience. YouTube has lots of videos of that. You could probably buy a book or go online and read blogs or whole websites on how to be successful with e-commerce or selling on eBay. So that's my question and answer video. There'll be more coming up. Maybe I'll do that shipping thing I talked about. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. I have a link below for my email, so send me more questions. My eBay store is linked below if you want to see what listings look like, how I word them, how I take pictures, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. This is the Midwest Picker.